Live, where news comes first, from the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, and before we get to the first forecast, we have breaking news. An El Paso police officer is in the hospital after a crash on the east side. It happened around 2:30 by the intersection of Montana and George Dieter. A police spokesman confirms the officer was conducting a DWI investigation when another driver crashed into the scene and struck the officer. We have a live look at the scene. This is from our TxDOT traffic camera in that area. Officers were on the scene investigating for several hours, but you can see now that it's all clear. The officer who was hit was taken to Del Sol Medical Center. We're told the injuries are minor. Police say they do have someone in custody. And welcome back to Good Morning El Paso. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Florin. Good morning, everyone. Now let's get to Nicole for a first look at our forecast. It's cold out there right now.
It's definitely cold, Hillary, so grab your jacket, your scarves, make sure you're comfortable because we're in the 20s to start out this morning. Let's talk about that morning forecast for El Paso and Las Cruces, your planner anyway. We're still in the 30s at the 7 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour, I should say, and at 11 o'clock, a little warmer, but it'll still be chilly in the 40s. Currently, our weather net site sponsored by the Mattress Firm, showing cross southern New Mexico at Hermosa Heights. We're at 30 degrees, 25 in Anthony. What it feels like outside, only 11 degrees, Guadalupe Pass, 19 in Ruidoso. El Paso, we're in the 30s, and 26 is the temperature now. In Las Cruces, 17 out in Deming, so very cold in some spots this morning. Doppler radar showing us clear skies, not tracking any rain, and the winds aren't too bad in El Paso and Las Cruces, but it is windy, Guadalupe Pass. That's why we're currently seeing temperatures in the single digits. Coming up at 6:37 with your weather and traffic on the 7s, we'll continue tracking temperatures with our weather net sites. Take a look at your bus stop forecast and your storm outlook for this afternoon. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Hillary?
Thanks, Nicole. Police in Las Cruces say a case of road rage got out of hand and ended up with a person in the hospital after a shooting. It all happened yesterday evening right off of Highway 70 along Rinconada Boulevard in between Roma Drive and Settlers Pass. Police are only identifying the victim as a 30-year-old man, and his condition is not known this morning. Police also want your help locating the suspect, and they're looking for a second car. If you know anything, you are asked to call police.
A Las Cruces police officer is accused of trading drugs in exchange for sexual favors. The Las Cruces Sun News reports 32-year-old Alex Smith was on duty in uniform when he allegedly gave meth to a woman. ABC 7 learned that Smith resigned from the department in June. On Wednesday, he turned himself into state police and bonded out of jail. Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom spoke with Las Cruces Police Chief Jaime Montoya over the phone about the accusations.
You have one individual that does something like that, and what people see is it's a reflection of the department when it's not. It's a reflection of that individual person who just put us in a bad light. So right now, the way things are going on in our communities, it takes one officer to ruin what you've been working on for years and years. It's not a reflection of who we are, it's just a reflection of who that person was.
Smith will have his first appearance before a judge in 2 weeks.
1,500 Fort Bliss soldiers are set to be deployed to Afghanistan. The Department of the Army announced the 1st Brigade Combat Team will be deploying sometime this winter. This is part of a regular rotation of forces in support of Operation Freedom Sentinel. Fort Bliss Commander Pat White says the ready 1st Brigade is well trained and fully prepared for the challenges of the mission.
Construction on the Comanche Trail pipeline, which would run through San Elizario, is at a halt this morning. That's because of a federal lawsuit and concerns over the Franklin Canal. Crews have finished construction on both sides of the canal, but connecting the two sides is in jeopardy. Some residents of San Eli have protested against the plans. They say they're concerned about the collapse of another canal where the company has drilled. Meantime, El Paso County says it stands to lose about $500,000 in tax benefits for the first year of the pipeline's operation. Other counties stand to lose a lot more. The temporary restraining order restricting construction will continue until the 20th.
And now to the president-elect's transition into the White House. In just 42 days until Inauguration Day in Des Moines, Donald Trump was back to business, announcing Governor Terry Branstad as his ambassador to China. Trump also announced fast food exec Andrew Puzder as his pick for Secretary of Labor. But in Iowa, Donald Trump appealing to middle America, promising to eliminate every single regulation that hurts our farmers, our workers, and small business.
Regulations, by the way, will be cut down to a fraction of what they are now.
Democrats are still preparing for a tough nomination fight for some of Trump's picks, including Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt, a climate change denier for the head of the EPA.
New this morning, UTEP engineering students take on a class project that is also making an impact in the medical field. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with this story. Hi, Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. Future engineers tasked with the design and creation of a biomedical device. That was the focus for students in a class that was offered for the first time at UTEP. And in the end, students created an artificial spinal implant. Now take a look. The spinal disc implants were built with a 3D printer. During the semester, students learned from both engineers and doctors. Students got to present their final product yesterday. And get this, the implants had to be FDA approved. This class was a partnership between UTEP Engineering Department and Fountainhead Investment Partners. One of the managing partners has roots at UTEP. He was once a student at the university.
We expose them to new things that they wouldn't normally see, things they wouldn't see until they were well into their professional career. So I think they absorbed it really well.
This class makes us shine among other students that are competing for those types of positions in this particular industry.
And Keiser, who you just first heard from, says that Fountainhead is focusing on funding ideas in the biomedical field, and as he mentioned, was very impressed with the UTEP engineering students. And another surgeon that helped with the project says that those are the kinds of students that they need for the future of the biomedical industry. Hillary, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. New this morning, cold temperatures and winter weather has taken over parts of the country. Take a look. In Ohio, the slick roads are blamed for a 50-car pileup that left motorists stranded for hours. You could see trucks at a standstill on this highway in Lake County. At least 19 people were hurt in what authorities called a train reaction collision. The heavy snow has made it tough for crews who were still on the scene early this morning trying to clear the road.
So thankfully we're just dealing with very cold temperatures, nothing too severe, right, Nicole?
Nothing too bad, just a little chilly, so make sure you pile on the layers for the kiddos as you get them ready for school. It feels like it's in the 20s out there in El Paso and Las Cruces, but we are tracking mostly clear conditions right now. 33, that's the temperature in El Paso at the airport. 26 in Las Cruces. 19 is what it feels like in Ruidoso. Northeast El Paso, if you live around Travis Elementary School, the temperature now is 32 degrees, but we're not tracking any rain on Doppler radar. It's a dry start to the morning. Again, just a few clouds moving through this morning, and this afternoon our storm outlook looking pretty calm, quiet, not expecting any rain this afternoon, but it will be cool and sunny. It'll be a warm weekend, but I'm tracking some changes to the forecast for next week. I'll let you know what those changes are coming up in your full forecast. Mauricio?
Hey Nicole, our border wait times really haven't changed since the past hour. We're looking still at 35 minutes for Bridge of the Americas, 20 for Paso del Norte, half an hour wait on the Isleta Bridge. Tornillo Guadalupe a little bit slower than what we usually see at this time, a 20-minute wait, and 5 minutes on Santa Teresa right now. Here's a look at our ABC7 traffic flows sponsored by the Vivo Auto Group, and we're not seeing any delays right now. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, that crash on Montana has been cleared up, so we're not seeing any issues over there on East El Paso. Here's a look at Las Cruces. We're tracking 68 miles per hour, our speed on I-10 West, 67 if you're heading east towards El Paso, and 66 right now, our current speed on I-25. Here's a live look outside now with our ABC7 TxDOT cameras. This is I-10 at Brown near downtown El Paso. Everything pretty clear right now, but coming up at 6:47. We'll take a look at your west side drive times plus an update on closures.
All right, thanks so much, Mauricio.
Keep it here for more to come on Good Morning El Paso.
He had a history of great sacrifice and really commitment to his nation and to the people of the country.
A star among the stars has passed away. We'll take a look at the life and legacy of astronaut John Glenn. It's 6:39.